whatever you wind up doing is exactly what you should be doing.
And I have not behaved one single day of my life. Not one day of my life have I behaved, and I am fine.
I need your help. I can't tell you what it is. You can never ask me about it later, and we're gonna hurt some people.
Whose car are we gonna take?
Thank you for joining us on the Nikki Maduro Show live on YouTube. But thanks for joining us, myself, Kim McAllister, and all of you who make this show absolutely awesome. We have a fun show coming up. We are going to be talking about the big change that is coming to the Paris Olympics. And my question isn't obviously, they're going to be able to get kind of hot and bothered like I teased, but is this supposed to send to the world? We're talking about the Olympics, that COVID has finally ended, because if they're taking this move, they're definitely sending a message. Another question I have for you guys is, how young is too young to catch a murder charge? The reason I'm asking that is there is this 13-year-old kid in Oakland who's being charged with murder. And, obviously the crime that he's alleged to have committed is awful, but 13? Kim, that's our kids. Like, my son is about to turn 13 in a few months.
Little.
That is young.
They still feel very childlike.
They are a child. There is no way in hell you're telling me. I know that, and here's the thing, and when we talk about this, we'll get into it, because we don't know what the 13-year-old child looks like. I'm scared and I'm concerned, and I'm just gonna be blunt, that it's an African-American kid that looks much older for his age, because that happens. And then all of a sudden, because you look older, you're treated older. Now, again, I don't know. We don't have a picture. Obviously, it's a juvenile, but they're being charged with murder. Unless you have a picture. I have not seen a picture. I looked for it. I did not see a picture. And it just makes me wonder what's going on here. Later on in the show, we're going to talk about traditional gender roles. And is it so against all of the progress women have made for other women to promote going into these traditional gender roles? And specifically when you're dating, should women, and I'm going to talk about heteronormative relationships here, obviously when it's a different makeup of the relationship, things change. But in a heteronormative man-woman relationship, is there anything wrong with looking at it like a business relationship, where the guy needs to be able to, quote unquote, afford the woman he is wooing? So there's a bunch of influencers that are doing that, and I don't know if they're doing it for clicks or if there's something there. So that's all coming up on the show. Of course, we're going to talk a bit about politics. Somebody passed away, Kim, at the age of 100 years old.
Oh, that's a nice long life.
He's an entrepreneur. I'm going to try to say his name, and I apologize if I butcher it. Shigechi Nagishi.
Okay.
Shigechi Nagishi.
Japanese person.
What do you think this person invented? He was an inventor. I will say it would be hard to find somebody of a certain, I would say it'd be hard to find an adult that has not used his invention. Anybody know who just passed away? An inventor at the age of 100. He makes going out fun.
I know this one only because I saw the headline, so I won't answer.
Does anybody know who passed away? No, it's not the Walkman. It's not the inventor of the Walkman. Let me see, what other clues could I give? I personally love this invention. You can see this invention when you go out. Mm-hmm. You can even have this invention in your house. Sometimes it's like a Christmas gift. Sometimes for younger people, it's not the condom, John, although that's funny. Janet comes in with the right answer. Janet, it is the inventor of the karaoke machine. Mm-hmm. Died at the age of 100. Nagishi whose 1967 Sparko box prototype is among several devices credited with ushering Japan's karaoke craze. He died at 100 of natural causes. Apparently, this actually was made public last week, but I just heard about it today. So here's my question for you. One, Kim, do you like karaoke?
Of course. Who doesn't?
Okay, so what is your song? You have to have a song. Like if you you guys let me know if crazy, is that
crazy for feeling so lonely.
Oh, that's nice. See, you're good. I could never. I don't have that good of a singing voice. And especially if I have a few drinks in me, I lose all sense of being able to hear what my voice sounds like. So they
this I must see.
That would be a fun meetup, is karaoke. I love karaoke. I like watching karaoke. Some people are like, I am never happy at a karaoke bar because I don't want to listen to people sing terribly. I love going to karaoke bars and listening to people. Okay, here's the rule.
It's like American Idol auditions.
Well, it's like that. But here's the thing. If you're going to sing and you don't have a good voice, then you have to go all in. I don't want to hear your shy ass singing a song like crazy, I'm crazy. No, dude, if you're going to sing crazy and you do not have a good voice,
go for gold.
Perform like you do. So that's my MO. I was like,
sing it like you do in the shower, my love.
Listen to Your Heart is one of my favorite songs. I like some of the Dixie Chicks or whatever the Chicks song. It was the Dixie Chicks on the album. I like some of their songs for karaoke. They did this thing on the radio this morning when they were talking about it, which is how I found out, of songs that you can sing if you don't have a good voice. Okay.
Oh. Wait, what's your song? You didn't tell me your song.
I just said, listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. Yeah. He's or total eclipse of the heart. I like two of those kind of heart songs. That's another one. But listen to your heart is just, I'm so dramatic when I sing it. I'm definitely so more performative than vocally.
Yes, you got to get into it.
Talented.
Beautiful.
But I love, and what's even better, I've never gone to one of those bars that have the karaoke rooms. I've only gone to bars that like you have to sing in front of everybody, whether they want to hear your ass or not. But I could see how fun it could be to go to one of those karaoke places where your party gets its own room and you guys just sing. And so it's just in front of people, because whenever we have a karaoke machine at my house for a party, it always takes like one or two people to get the party going. But then after a while, so much fun. Okay, so you guys let me know in the comments, what is your favorite karaoke karaoke? I was reading Lady Beach's thing. Karaoke song that you sing. That it doesn't matter as long as you are going all in. I don't even care.
We had a karaoke machine at my house that my kids got for Christmas one year. And it was used. First of all, it was used for karaoke, and that was fun. It had little disco lights that you could shine at the ceiling. I mean, it was a great thing.
Yeah.
And then it began to be used for beatboxing.
Okay.
That microphone was used for beatbox. It was the most annoying thing in the world.
Well, giving your child a microphone as a toy and an amplified one at that, never a good idea. It's never a good idea. John says satisfaction. I can't get no.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. No. In my mind, I'm granted. I will always love you, John. I love you. That is awesome because you got it. It just makes you smile. Now, Murphy doesn't like it though. Murphy says, I was a professional singer, but I don't do karaoke. It's usually not in my key, and I don't like hearing people wailing and screaming. I find it to be so funny.
I guess I'll stop it then, Murphy.
If you are all in, like, again, if you're just going to sit there. There was one time, I'll never forget this, when I lived in Sacramento. We were down the street from this like dive bar. I love living next to dive bars. And they had karaoke some nights. And this dude got the mic and he sat in a corner. Okay. But he had the most amazing voice. He just didn't want to go up on stage because there's a portable mic that you can take anywhere in the bar. And so, I mean, he would just sit in the corner and he sang great, but there was no performance. But I was like, hey, as long as you have a good voice, it's one, the other, it's best if it's both. But Sweet Caroline, that was on the list of songs that you can
that'll
sing.
get the whole bar going.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. If you can get a song that everyone will sing with you, it doesn't matter if you have a good voice, right?
Mhm.
Red Wine by Neil Diamond. That's a good one. All Star. Yeah. All Star by Smash Mouth. That's pretty good. Yeah. If you're going to do a ballad, you got to really, really sing it. Vilma says, if I do karaoke, I think I'd have to be a little bit tipsy, Avi, and with good friends, Avi. My voice is odd key, but I have a low voice, so singing tunes in a high voice is definitely out. I'd have to be drunk. I literally, that being tipsy is the rule. I'm not singing karaoke stone cold sober. That's just not happening. That's a good one. American Pie. That's a good song. I could sing that song. I could definitely sing that song. Eric says, I usually do The Police or, Brown Eyed Girl. That's a good one. I don't think I'll do Brown Eyed Girl again now that I'm separated from my ex. Still a good song, though. Brown Eyed Girl is an easy one. YMCA or Hava Nagila. Hava Nagila would be really, really fun. That'd be awesome. What's the other one that I'll do? Poison by Belle Biv DeVoe. I like that song. That girl is poison. Yeah, I think that song. If I'm feeling a little frisky. Vicky's never done karaoke.
We need to take that girl out.
Vicky, no, again, you have to be willing to go all out and have some drinks in you. It's only fun. I can't imagine wanting, although I know people that love to sing, and so they go to karaoke bars because they want to sing. Oh, power to you, but I don't have that great of a voice, so respect. Debbie likes respect. RSPCT. Find out what it means to me. Sloop. What is Sloop? I don't know that song, John B. Sloop, John B. I don't know that song, Doug. Doug's never done, or Dan, pardon me, has never done karaoke. Come on. D says, the best of my love by the Emotions. But the best of my love. Whoa, whoa. Yeah. It's like exaggerated mimicking since I can't sing. Yeah. Liz says, I can't sing, so no karaoke for me. That's not a requirement. Sorry. Karaoke is extremely popular in Korea. They love it there, and they're everywhere. Yeah, so they love these rooms. Businessmen, like that's how they go out. Instead of going like to a strip club, they go to karaoke bars. Lady Beatrice, if it's Christmas, I'll sing Christmas Time is Here from Charlie Brown Christmas. Hark the Herald Angels Sing. And say it for me, Kim. Mele Kaliki Maka. Yes. Darling Nikki by Prince is always fun, isn't it, John? That is always a good song. Have you guys seen the video, Dave asks, where they disguise actual stars and do karaoke undercover? Jewel did it. The Masked Singer. Isn't that what that is? The Masked Singer? Yeah. But do they sing in their real voice?
Those costumes freak me out.
Yeah, and I've only seen like scenes from it. I don't watch that show either. I thought the Masked Singer, weren't they trying to mask their voice, or do they sing in their real voice? I don't know. Again, I don't watch the show, so I don't know. Ricky says, I've played and sung with bands in the 70s. I love to sing. Ooh la la. Oh. What's new, Pussycat? Whoa, whoa, whoa. See, you guys are getting a taste of like how I would do. Ava Nagila in Hebrew. Wow, SJ Lola. That's pretty good. You sing, you sew, you write. Any Taylor Swift song. Ooh. Mm-hmm. What song would I sing of Taylor Swift? I mean, I know a lot of Taylor Swift songs. So I could probably sing a lot of them. Another fun one, Sandy writes, besides Rock Lobster, is Rainy Day Women by Bob Dylan. Again, you don't really have to sing, and the crowd loves the line, everybody must get stoned. Yes. If you get a sing-along song, that's a really, really good one. Hang on. Oh, hang on, Sloopy. Hang on. Okay, I got it. Ooh. Beach Boys is a good one. John, I literally was just belting this song out the other day. Scrubs by TLC. Heck yeah. It still holds too. All that warning. It's Freebird. Yes, Jeff. I like that song as well. Yeah, Freebird's a good one. Because it has the notes, but everyone's going to sing with you. So that's awesome. Heather says, my boyfriend and I like to do Break Stuff by Limp Bizkit. So much fun just to scream and bounce. I like the fact that you and your boyfriend do it together. So that's pretty good. Only the Good Die Young by Billy Joel. That's good. Love Shack. Again, that was on the list of, what was the other one? So Love Shack by the B-52s. Sweet Caroline. I forget what the other ones were. But yeah, there's just some songs where you don't have to sing well. The Magnificent Seven by The Clash, the long version. All right. What was it? What's that? The long versions. November Rain by Guns N' Roses. That's another long ass song. I don't know if they would play that for you at a karaoke bar. You'd be taking over the whole entire thing. Lady Beatrice, hold on. Look, the Lady Beatrice says if it's a Taylor Swift song, it'd have to be Shake It Off. Shake it off. Shake it off. Murphy, Masked Singer, they sing in their real voices, but when they have interviews, their voices are altered. Okay, there we go. Oh, and you know the choreographer of the show. You should get us together. We can have them on to interview them. That would be so much fun, Murphy. Ask the choreographer. They'd ever come on the show. Ricky says Disney Girls by the Beach Boys. I don't know if I know that song. I know California Girls. I know that one. Oh, John. Nothing Compares to You by Sinead O'Connor. That's a good one. Yeah, so a lot of legacy. I love karaoke. It is so much fun. All right. So, our thoughts and prayers to the family of Shigechi Nagishi, the inventor of the earliest karaoke machine. Thank you for a good time, my friend.
Yeah, he provided the world so much joy. That's awesome.
Exactly. All right, let's do some headlines. When we come back, we'll talk a bit about
headlines.
Okay, get your headlines together. I'll tease again. So the Paris Olympics is lifting its intimacy ban for athletes. And boy, are they getting prepared, to say the least. Apparently, now, if you guys remember, the intimacy ban's been in place for the past 4 years since the 2020 Tokyo Olympics because of, obviously, COVID. Now, there were also stories that had come out, if you remember, about the fact that people were sneaking out just to get some. It's got to be quite the party at the Olympics. But anyways, they're going to be lifting it. But what does that mean? I mean, should we be concerned that the world's top athletes are going to get busy at the Olympics and then start coming home? Going to the Olympics, I would have to say, has to be a really cool ticket to have. Let me know in the comments if any of you have ever been to an Olympic Games or anything like that. I do have some Trump news. The Supreme Court, the Supreme Court let stand a ban against Cowboys for Trump co-founder, the only person that's been removed using the 14th Amendment. So that's coming up as well. You guys, please click the thumbs up button. Show your support for the show. We really do appreciate it. And we need all the support we can get to keep the show going. The super chat is also live. And a big thanks to the Lady Beatrice. She writes, the Slender Man girls were 12. Oh, yes. I remember these teenage girls that killed someone because they said the Slender Man told them to do it. Though they should have been charged as juveniles, their actions failed to make the case. 13 is too young. We are going to be talking about that. 13-year-old Oakland child, catching a murder charge. I can't believe it. But thank you for the donation to the super chat, Lady Beatrice. It is open. You can do as she does. And if you have a comment and we're on the live portion of the show and not the replay, we will be sure to read it. And then please, you guys, support us. We are 100% crowdfunded by going to thenickymadoroshow.com. Find our Patreon and please donate to our show. We really do appreciate it. Jeez. Is that one of the stories coming up?
Coming for news.
It's coming for news.
For you.
And if you guys like PayPal better than Patreon, please donate that way. We like PayPal as well because they don't take that much of a cut. Just go to paypal.com, hit the send button, and put in the Nikki Maduro Show at gmail.com, the Nikki Maduro Show at gmail.com. You'll see the logo there, and we appreciate all of your support. Okay, let's do some headlines, and then we'll get into getting it on next.
Now, from around the world to up your street, the Nikki Maduro Show presents News Czar Kim McAllister.
It is the Nikki Maduro Show, and it looks like a partial government shutdown has been averted.
Yay!
Congressional leaders struck a deal with the White House on a bill to fund the Department of Homeland Security, which is a major sticking point in negotiations to pass 6 major spending bills by Friday night's deadline. The House and the Senate will take the legislation up as soon as possible.
Nice.
Primary elections are being held in 5 states today. That includes Arizona, Florida, Illinois, Kansas, and Ohio. Both President Biden and former President Trump have already passed their respective parties' delegate threshold. But Trump visited Ohio over the weekend. You heard that speech. That was a doozy. Ugh. President Biden will make stops in Nevada and Arizona today.
Do we care about primaries? I mean, obviously, if you live in those states, what else is on the ballot matters. But I feel like
unless there's surprises, but it could be telling.
Well, they already have. Oh, yeah. I mean, it could telegraph the popularity and the support and all that. But I mean, Trump and Biden got it. Like, I don't know.
I think there's some Senate races on the ballot that are important to note what happens there. So
yeah, that's true. Good point.
Nearly 1,000 Americans have asked the State Department for help in Haiti, where gang violence has really thrown that nation into chaos. People have been filling out crisis intake forms online as the U.S. tries to get people out on chartered flights. More than 30 Americans were evacuated Sunday into Miami. Scary.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
Here's a losing case. I don't know. Maybe not. I shouldn't say that. Former President Trump is suing ABC News and George Stephanopoulos for defamation.
Yes, I saw that. And now explain what's going on here, because it's a little weird.
This lawsuit centers around Stephanopoulos' interview with Congresswoman Nancy Mace earlier this month. During that interview, Stephanopoulos said Trump had been found liable for
rape,
sexual assault. Okay, I was trying not to get us demonetized, but yes, what she said. That's okay.
Right. Assault with the R word. There we go.
Yes, exactly. A New York jury found Trump liable for sexual abuse, but not the R word. So
I'm going to play a little bit of this video with Nancy Mace. I will say this. Well, let's first watch it, and then I'll tell you what I think, because she's the one that uses the R word also. So let's see here. Here we go.
Endorsed Donald Trump for president. Judges and 2 separate juries have found him liable for rape and for defaming the victim of that rape. How do you square your endorsement of Donald Trump with the testimony we just saw?
Well, I will tell you, I was raped at the age of 16. And any rape victim will tell you, I've lived for 30 years with an incredible amount of shame over being raped. I didn't come forward because of that judgment and shame that I felt. And it's a shame that you will never feel, George. And I'm not going to sit here on your show and be asked a question meant to shame me.
She's off about this. I don't get this.
Victim. I'm not gonna do that.
It's actually not about shaming you. It's a question about Donald Trump.
Are shaming
You've endorsed Donald Trump for president.
So, okay, I'm going to stop it right here. I don't understand what she means by saying that George Stephanopoulos is shaming her. I don't get it. Do you understand what she's meaning by that?
It seems like a legit question.
I mean as someone who's been assaulted, this is what I feel like George Stephanopoulos is saying. You've been assaulted in the past. He has been found civilly liable. Now he says the R word, but it wasn't.
Public about it, not like this is a new revelation, right? Mm-hmm.
And so, and she says it over and over again. Let's watch a little bit more. It's not that long.
Right.
Donald Trump has been found liable for rape by a jury. Donald Trump has been found liable for defaming the victim of that rape by a jury. It's been affirmed by a judge.
It was not a criminal court case, number one. Number two, I live with shame.
See, I don't get
you're
what she's
asking
doing.
Me a question about my political choices, trying to shame me as a rape victim, and I find it disgusting.
So there we go. So that's a little bit more telling. So she's like, because I was assaulted, I'm supposed to not support anybody that's an assaulter. I feel like that's a good question.
I think so too.
You know what I mean? It's as if she's saying, just because I was assaulted doesn't mean I can't still support former President Trump, even though he's been civilly liable for being an assaulter. I feel like she's making herself into the victim, and I don't want to shame her. I mean, it's horrible what happened to her, but I feel like she's the one that's using it, right? And so, I just wanted to show that so we could put into context the lawsuit that Trump is having. Now he's upset because George Stephanopoulos kept using the R word, correct?
Yeah. Instead of, and the only reason I say the R word is because YouTube doesn't like that word, and we'll demonetize the show because of it. But we're in there. We're in it to win it now. I mean,
there we go.
I mean, I don't know how many times we've said it now, but yes,
we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Stephanopoulos said, and you heard him say it, Trump has been found liable for rape, but the New York jury found him liable for sexual abuse, not rape. I mean, is it kind of a...
Is it splitting hairs?
I think so.
That, but this is, and again, maybe there's somebody that knows the difference legally. So maybe there is a legal definition that, but the judge even clarified with the jury, right, that he had done this to E. Jean Carroll. So I don't know. I think Trump's trying to get money because he can't pay off his bills. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Eric says she is playing the victim card to deflect the question. Yeah. And the Lady Beatrice says women who have been through trauma are very prone to put up their guard when triggered. And I get that. And again, I feel like George Stephanopoulos bringing it up, it's kind of tough, but I do feel she doesn't want the image of being a victim that's also supporting someone that's been, found civilly liable for doing something like that. So it is a deflection, in my opinion. Calvin says, so sexual abuse isn't bad according to her. She'll vote for that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and this is very true. She didn't answer.
Exactly. Because she's going to support Trump. That's it.
Yeah. I'm very offended that you asked me that question. That's what she said.
Yeah. You're trying to shame me. And saying that you're trying to shame me, I think is unfair because there is true victim shaming. There is true victim shaming. That is not it. I think he is trying to call out hypocrisy. Like, how can you stand with somebody who said grab her by the pee, has been civilly liable for what happened against E. Jean Carroll, and that doesn't matter to you, right? So I think that's the whole thing. I don't think he's shaming her like, what were you wearing that night that you were assaulted? That's shaming,
Yeah, there's a big difference.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel right to me either. It's a way for her not to answer the question and a way for them to grasp their pearls and be like, oh, how dare you?
Yeah, exactly.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken says Russia's presidential election can only be described as undemocratic. In a statement, Blinken pointed to the Russian government barring 2 candidates from the ballot who are against the country's invasion of Ukraine. Russian President Vladimir Putin's win was all but guaranteed, of course, facing opponents carefully chosen by the Kremlin who don't pose a real threat to his seat. Okay, here's the story I want to show you.
Okay.
This is a woman driving into the ocean during a police pursuit in Los Angeles. Happened in Venice Beach over the weekend. She's trying to evade officers during this pursuit, but holy moly, and look what happens here. This lady, let's see if I can line it up. This lady, I don't know if there's alcohol involved or what's happening.
I would bet the alcohol is involved.
She's going right into the water. Here it is.
Oh, no. Okay, let's see.
Look at her go.
Oh, no. You can't just keep going. She knows that, right?
I mean, did you not see the water ahead?
You might
Can
not
you
have.
not see the pier? It's kind of shiny out there.
Maybe
and there she goes.
The pier was much wider. Oh, no. Was she okay?
It's not a good scene, I'll tell you that. Look at the car then is carried out.
Oh, no.
It takes only a matter of seconds. There's the cops running down the beach trying to get to her.
Oh, no.
I'm telling you what. I mean, they have to deal with the craziest stuff. So this whole chase started at about just a little before midnight Saturday. CHP finds this woman, tries to pull her over for speeding. She gets off the freeway. She drives toward Venice Beach. She's going about 85 miles an hour on the freeway, between 35 and 65 on city streets. Eventually, she drives herself through a beach parking lot, onto the sand, and straight into the water. Oh. And so, yeah, it's not a pretty picture. So after she enters the ocean, she swam several hundred yards before deputies from the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department and the U.S. Coast Guard pulled her out of the water. She had 2 dogs in that car. So the animal care and control people had to come get the dogs.
Oh, the dogs are okay, though. Okay.
Luckily.
I was like, oh my God, these poor dogs. They're like, what in the hell, woman? We even saw the ocean. Jesus.
She's taken into custody. She faces a charge of evading officers. I would like to think that she faces other charges as well.
Right,
but
exactly.
Can you believe that?
No.
I mean, seriously, straight into the drink. I mean, come on.
God. You're never going to win against the ocean. Sorry.
No,
it's not going to happen. Oh,
anyway,
what an idiot.
I just wanted to, the video to me was crazy and I wanted to show it to you.
Yeah,
so,
that is funny.
There you go. Yeah. Anyway. Oh, let me stop screen. Okay, so that happened.
That happened, exactly.
I mean, can you even imagine How obvious was it that the ocean was right there?
Yeah.
Right there.
You'd think that they would see it coming. Especially as you hit sand. Driving in sand, you definitely should feel the difference in the road, I would say. But okay.
And lastly, another plane had to be turned around.
I know.
This one is a Japanese bound or a Japan bound flight. It was a United Airlines flight. It was headed to Japan, but it was forced to return to the gate at SFO. That happened yesterday because of maintenance issues. United Airlines flight UA35 supposed to take off before noon for Osaka, Japan, but apparently the crew got an indication of an engine start issue after they had taxied down the runway. The plane had to turn around and go right back to the gate before it departed at about 5 p.m. So they had to do some work on the plane. They had 243 passengers, 14 crew members aboard.
I mean, I'm telling you, it's kind of scary. And I mentioned this yesterday. Like, is it really going to stop people from flying? And I know we could check our planes, but what does checking my plane tell me? That I'm screwed? Yep, I'm in a Boeing. Like, shoot, right? Like, I don't know, man. I feel like, again, this is the consequence of something that's been going on for a very long time. And they better get it together.
It was a Boeing 777-200.
Yeah, man,
but
it's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. You know what, though? It's interesting. It's the latest in this series of incidents that happened with planes taking off from SFO.
Yeah,
so crazy. On Friday, did you hear about the flight to Oregon that landed with another missing panel?
The external panel, right?
Yeah. This time.
Not the door. Thank God. I'm not ever getting the door seat. Not that we ever sit there, but I'm not going to be the emergency. I'm not going to help rescue anybody. Not like I would. I'm never chosen for that. Or I would never choose to do that. But still, flying now, you got to take matters into your own hands.
Thursday, they had an SFO bound United flight with a hydraulic leak right as it was about to land.
One was like an engine was smoking, I feel like. A little bit of smoke from the engine. Like, yeah, no. Thanks, though.
Yeah, that was a Friday. Before that, a Mexico-bound flight went from SFO, had to land at LAX because of a hydraulic issue. Don't forget about the one that lost a wheel, where the wheel fell into the parking lot at SFO.
Oh, my goodness gracious. No,
that's crazy.
Thank you. That's crazy.
Like, and do you want that reputation if you're Boeing? Like, that's your claim to fame? You're known for your planes that kind of come apart mid-flight? No. Really?
But again, it's not like we have that many. I don't know if we have an option. Like, I can't filter my flights by plane. I don't think they offer that, right? Like, I don't want any Boeing planes. Well, good luck. So I just, it's crazy right now flying. Absolutely crazy.
We'll end it with food.
Okay.
This one's for people in other states, because I don't think we have this ice cream here.
Oh, okay.
Bluebell is out with a new flavor. Inspired by a dessert made famous in St. Louis, Missouri. The creamery says, and tell me if you'd like this one, gooey butter cake ice cream is made from cake batter ice cream, cream cheese, and gooey pieces of butter cake.
That kind of sounds good.
Available for a limited time in half-gallon and pint sizes. Gooey butter cake ice cream.
Gooey butter cake ice cream. That sounds. So I'm looking on their website. I don't know if we have a Bluebell. I'm looking in California. I've heard of Bluebell. I'm sure you can maybe get it at let's see, in store. No, you can buy it online. That's it.
Oh, can you? Oh.
Yeah. They have Bluebell creameries. So all kinds of ice cream. So various flavors. Yeah, you can get it.
When my dad lived in Texas, that Bluebell was the brand that you would buy.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Ben and Jerry, my kids are going through their Ben and Jerry's phase right now. It's like, and I'm like, because normally my son was the ice cream eater, not so much my daughter. And we would get that gigantic tub, that you can get at the grocery store, like the generic ice cream of cookies and cream. And I would just get that for him, and he'd have ice cream all the time. Now they're into half-baked.
Okay.
I'm not a big ice cream eater, so don't ask me. If I want to get an ice cream, I want the drumsticks, the ice cream cone drumsticks. I love me a drumstick. But just eating like a pint of ice cream
or
something.
Taco?
Well, I love me my Choco Tacos, but they're not available anymore. But no, I do like a Choco Taco though. I like it but it's kind of like, if you think about it, a Choco Taco is like a drumstick, just in a different shape. I mean, it has the cone. It has the chocolate. It has the ice cream, Tillamook ice cream. Okay.
Yeah.
Half-baked ice cream. Hold on. So half-baked Ben and Jerry's. Let me give you the description. They love it. They absolutely love it. Half-baked ice cream is... Come on, give me the description. Yeah. Half-baked. Give me the picture, darn it. Here we go. It is chocolate and vanilla ice cream with gobs of chocolate chip cookie dough and fudge brownies.
Oh, can't go wrong with that.
There you go. That's half-baked. That's what they really, really like. So
yeah, pretty good stuff.
No, Choco Tacos aren't coming back. There is a place in the Bay. I want to say it's by Stanford, maybe. It's actually a place that makes their own gourmet Choco Tacos. I wish that the generic one that you can get from your ice cream man down the street was still available, but it is not. They'll probably bring it back. They're probably like taking a page from Taco Bell and like taking things away and then bringing it back.
This says the Ben and Jerry's has become pricey. That's true.
It is.
How much is it for a little tiny container of it?
I don't know. I want to say $7.
Oh, yeah.
I want to just say, I'm just throwing it out there. I want to say $7 for like a pint of ice cream that's like this big. You're not supposed to eat it all in one sitting, but people do. They're like, oh, that's a single serving. No, it's not. Neapolitan ice cream. It's like you can't make up your mind ice cream.
What are you gonna have? Well, I don't know. Give me all of it.
I can't decide. No, I like a drumstick. And now they make drumsticks with like a caramel center or a chocolate center or mint chocolate chip under the chocolate. So it's really, really good. Yeah, that's pretty right. Yeah, $7 to $8. Yeah.
We used to have a ice cream company in Petaluma called Three Twins, and it went out of business. But their ice cream was really good.
Yeah, I'm not one to seek out. I literally just finished. Well, I have a couple more cookies of my Girl Scout cookies that I bought. Yeah, I'm trying to like not eat that many sweets anymore. It's go straight to my booty. So like half-baked sounds fully gross. What? I mean, what sounds bad about chocolate and vanilla ice cream, chocolate chip cookie dough, and fudge brownie? I mean, what sounds gross? I think half-baked sounds delicious. Vilma says, I love butter brickle ice cream.
Butter brickle, yeah.
What's butter brickle?
Oh, it's got a distinct flavor.
Butter brickle ice cream. What is butter brickle? Butter brickle is a chocolate coated toffee. Okay, done.
It's good. Good.
I like that. Okay. Yeah. I like brittle. I've never butter brickle. Okay.
I like ice cream with something in it.
Yes.
Like not just a plain flavor. It has to have something crunchy in there.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
ice cream with vanilla ice cream with chocolate covered peanuts and some kind of caramel swirl type
I like
of thing.
texture. Yeah. Like it needs to be smooth, creamy, and then a crunch or something like that. Although I will say, sometimes if you can't do, let's just say, a good vanilla, like I don't trust you to be able to do anything else good. It's kind of like a cheese pizza. If your cheese pizza sucks, I'm not going to trust you to make a more complicated pizza. You can't even get cheese right. So
there's some, and I don't know what it is. There's some ice cream that has those little teeny tiny, like they look like little mini Reese's cups, but they're full of caramel.
Ooh.
So you bite into them and it's like a caramel explosion. And they're embedded in the ice cream. That's phenomenal.
Cherry Garcia. I've never been a Cherry Garcia fan.
My husband's a Cherry Garcia. That's what he gets.
Sandy likes cotton candy ice cream. Blue Spark, it's it or it. Yeah, it's too much for me. I don't think I've ever been able to fully finish an entire It's It. It's too big.
Are you not from the Bay Area? What's wrong with you?
No, I mean, I've eaten an It's It, but like eating the whole thing is too much.
You need the little mini ones from Costco.
Yeah, maybe. I don't think I've ever had the mini ones. I've just gotten the gigantic 2 cookies plus ice cream. That's way too much for me. JT says, when I was younger, I would always get daiquiri ice. Not that yummy, but I pretended I was having booze.
Oh, it's funny.
Brian says, anything caramel is my favorite. Ooh, pistachio ice cream. I could see liking that. I don't think I've ever ordered it. But if I go to Baskin & Robbins, Sandy, I am right with you.
Yes.
Gold medal ribbon. Hands
We're all on the same page.
Down.
That's right. Yes.
It has everything. Like, I mean, it has the flavors that you want. You know what I mean? It's just so good. Fish food from Ben & Jerry's.
It's
chocolate with marshmallow, caramel ribbons, and like little dark chocolate fish. That's yummy.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is. Is this an ice cream?
Boyaka.
I don't think that's ice cream. I think he's just trying to say booyaka. I think that's what you're trying to say. I'm assuming that's how I read it in my mind. Let's see. Yeah, everything has too many calories, Eric. Obviously. We're not talking about calories. We're talking about deliciousness on our tongue. There we go. Mini its. Yes, Janet. There we go. Vanilla is so underrated, Jess. You're right. Exactly. Like if you do a good vanilla, my daughter likes vanilla ice cream. She does.
As long as you have something in it or chocolate on top of it.
Yeah, but if you were at like a baseball game and they had like chocolate or vanilla, right? You could get like with the little wooden spoon, like it could be a good ice cream. Old fashioned spumoni, if you can find it, that's pretty good too. All right, that's our food. That's our
ice cream in the morning. There you go.
Now I want ice cream, damn it.
This report is sponsored by you, and that means we rely on you to help us crowdfund this good old Nikki Maduro show. So find us at thenikkimadoroshow.com. It's thenikkimadoroshow.com. That's the website. You'll find the Patreon and the PayPal link there. It's also in the show description, along with a bunch of other fun links for you. I'm Kim McAllister. This is the Nikki Maduro Show.
Thank you, Kim. And okay, so I'm just going to say something really quickly because we really didn't talk about it too much. But Gordon was asking about John Daly. Again, John Daly, I think, Kim, you mentioned yesterday, left a note on the After Party Live. Is there going to be an After Party Live today? I think that's the main question that we want to answer.
The show must go on.
The show must go on. Okay. So just making sure everybody knows to stay here for the Mark Thompson Show and then the After Party Live with Kim McAllister. She rocked it yesterday. We love Kim McAllister. We're sad to see John go, but it is what it is. And so, there definitely will be one. And if you want to know more, I'm assuming you could reach out to John through email or social media or whatever and give your love and whatever to him. So he's available. He still exists. Okay. Speaking about connections. So Paris. They'll be getting it on at the Paris Olympics. So much so.
Let's get it on.
They are giving out 300. That's a good karaoke song. They're aiming. I love this. They're aiming to give out 300,000 condoms to the athletes. I love this one line. Who is this? This is Mashad. Laurent Mashad is the Olympic Village director, and he's been asked about, them giving out so many condoms. He told Sky News, working with the Athletes Commission, we wanted to create some places where athletes would feel very enthusiastic and comfortable. Does not sound like they're giving them a place to just get it on. Now, I can only imagine. You're an athlete. You're at the top of your game. You're at the Olympics. You're excited. You're surrounded by other athletes at the top of their game. I bet it is a fun old time for these people at the Olympics. But then again, there's my question of why did they remove or, set up this kind of intimacy ban in Tokyo? Is because of COVID. It went into effect for the 2020 Olympics that were held in Tokyo, Japan, due to COVID-19. Athletes were asked to limit their physical contact with each other, keeping about 6.5 feet between them, except when necessary, like when they're competing on the field. Providing condoms at the Olympics has been a tradition since the 1988 Seoul Olympics as an effort to raise awareness for HIV and AIDS. In Tokyo, officials still handed out 150,000 condoms, even with the intimacy ban, because they're like, you can't stop people from getting it on. If you're going to get it on, then at least be safe. Anybody concerned? The World Health Organization officially ended the global health emergency last year in 2023. This year, the CDC obviously amended their guidelines regarding isolation periods and what have you. Mashad said they want the athletes in Paris to have everything they need in the village. So they built a sports bar, but there's no alcohol. It's going to be a great place so they could share their moment and environment. No champagne in the village, but they can have all the champagne they want in Paris. So it's going to be a party. It's absolutely going to be a party. I love this question from Calvin. Can't athletes afford their own condoms? I think it's just making them readily available, right? Here's condoms. There's a bowl of condoms. Look, condoms for you, condoms for you, condoms for everyone. Isn't it mostly men at the Olympics? God, no. Come on now. What are you talking about? Okay, John asked, how many condoms does 3,000 work out to per athlete? That is a good math question. So how many athletes at the Paris Olympics?
Kim has done the math already for us and says it works out to about 29 condoms a person.
Wow. Okay, so
I mean, how long are they there for? A couple weeks? I don't know.
Okay, so hold on. Okay, so at the Summer Olympics in Paris, around 10,500 athletes from 206 countries, I'm assuming, will compete.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there you go. That's a lot of condoms. I would hate to be the person that has to clean up, right? I mean, it just really. So have a condom store. This is why the Olympics is expensive to have. The Olympics is expensive to have because you have to create a village, right? You have to create this whole like stupid village. I guess going for gold makes you horny, baby. Yeah. Ooh, interesting take. Lady Beatrice, athletes need to have their heads in the game. They don't need to be getting it on.
I don't know. I mean, you're meeting people from other countries,
yeah,
and
you've heard of like athletes saying, "I'm not having sex until after the season's over because of this exact thought." Yeah, I don't know, man. Does it after you compete? Is it a good release? Is it a way to like relieve stress, or does it take the edge off the competition? I guess the athlete will have to decide.
Yeah, Eric's like, what about after their events?
Exactly. What about celebrating?
Or
what if you lose? You need a little love. You know what I mean?
And ready to go. I don't know.
Exactly. Speaking of sports, can I just add a little sports that has nothing to do with the Olympics, but I'm just so fascinated and cannot wait to watch? Anybody else really excited about the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson bout that's going to be happening on Netflix, I guess, soon?
No.
Oh my, you're not excited about this?
I don't like to watch people hit each other.
I don't either. No. I don't know if I'd actually, well, if it's on Netflix and it's free to me, I could watch it. So apparently Mike Tyson's, the purse, what they get to get paid. Let's see. $20 million.
Oh my.
Tyson will pocket a cool $20 million just for fighting Jake Paul. I was quite shocked that Mike Tyson wanted to do this. Yeah, Jess, I think you're absolutely right. But apparently, like, even though he's older, if he connects with you, you're gone. You're done. You're absolutely done. Like Mike Tyson, do not. And I think I was watching a video. I was reading an article, and they were saying for boxers, especially that were at the level of Mike Tyson, the last thing to go, like they might be slower, right? Their reflexes might be a little bit slower, but the last thing to go is their power. And so if they connect, you're done. You're knocked the heck out. I just hope that it makes Jake Paul stop competing. I think Jake Paul is a douche canoe, so he can just like leave. Lori says, I think this is for the Olympics. Lori says they're young, healthy people. Hormones must be Yeah. Lots of strangers. Won't see this person again for 4 years. So no strings attached. S3x. Supposed to be amateur. So maybe not so much money. Olympic Village is like Below Deck on cruise ships. There's a lot of pretty people hooking up. Do you watch that show Below Deck?
No, but maybe I should. I'm starting to think.
It's the yachting culture. It's the people that work on these like mega yachts that take rich ass people out. I've watched many a season of Below Deck. Now they're doing like sailing, which I don't find to be as sexy because the sailboat moves a hell of a lot more than a yacht. But yeah. Mama 3 boys, boxing is the only sport my husband is willing to watch with me. All right. I'm like Kim. It really makes me uncomfortable watching people like literally bash into each other. MMA, oh my God, it's just so violent. I have to be in the mood. Let's just say that. I've seen boxing. I'm not going to act like I've never watched it before, but I definitely have to be in the mood to watch it. The Mike Tyson, Jake Paul fight, I think I will watch just because I'm going to want Tyson to just knock him out. Like just totally knock him out. Chris said he had to be there when Tyson was at his peak. This was just 90s babies trying to connect with the 80s. I know exactly where I was when Mike Tyson bit the ear of Evander Holyfield. I know I was working in a restaurant. I was a server. And I remember they had it on in this, on the sports TV or whatever. And it ended so freaking quickly. Like everyone was pissed off. But it was obviously iconic. Sad for Evander Holyfield, but
so
absolutely.
Gross.
It's really gross. That was Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson was just animalistic. Like, how do you just? And it wasn't like in the fight. He bit his ear like more than once, and then he got a chunk of it. But Yeah, we'll see how long it lasts. Lori says, sounds like another Tyson 1 minute fight to me is Jake Paul. Jake Paul is, and Jake Paul has fought. Now, he's fought only, I think, a few professional boxers, but he has. I'm not going to say that he hasn't. Jake Paul actually did a video with his dad. He's sitting on the couch with his dad, and he's like, he asked his dad, he's like, who was your favorite boxer of all time? And his dad like looks at him, he's like, Mike Tyson? And he's like, yeah. He's like, so that's who I'm fighting next. I don't think his dad thought it was a very good idea either. So prayers. But yeah, Trevor, you're right. Boxing is nothing but barbaric. It is so violent. MMA fights also very barbaric. But
was he convicted of the R word
against
Robin
Givens? Yeah. I don't know if he was convicted. Tyson convicted of the R word. He was convicted of assaulting the R word. Beauty pageant contestant Desiree Washington in 1992 served 3 years. His former wife, Robin Givens, also said in divorce papers that he did that to her, but he wasn't, I don't think, convicted of that. He was convicted of the Washington one. So he's.
And so I find myself, not that I've ever been a victim, thank God, of assault like that, but I will say that I have to have a hard time supporting someone who has a history of this.
Well, yeah, I mean, he served time. Like, he was served 3 years in prison. And I'm not supporting him. I'm just watching him knock freaking Jake Paul out. I guess that maybe you consider that supporting him. I'm not putting any money on it. He's not getting anything from me. I already pay for Netflix. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. I mean, it's definitely, he has a very bad history, and it's not just in the ring. It's definitely in his personal life. And again, we could say CTE, we could say those sorts of things. We could also say he's just not a good person. But yeah, Mike Tyson is still very strong. That's my point. And to have Jake Paul stand on the other side, that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Portion Redacted says that was so disgusting when that happened. Remember that they allowed him back into the ring. I couldn't and still can't understand that. Jess says Ali had an interview with a young Tyson, and Ali said that if Tyson would connect with him, then Ali would go down. Tyson was humble with Ali. Yeah. He's a very, very powerful boxer. All right. Moving on to something completely different. Although we were talking about Mike Tyson and being convicted of the R word and all those sorts of things. How young is too young to charge somebody with murder? There is a 13-year-old boy, who's alleged to commit murder and robbery. It was a liquor store owner. He's the suspect in a January killing of a liquor store owner and another robbery he's been linked to in Oakland, California. Now, the boy doesn't turn 14 until July. He's charged with murder and attempted robbery in the January 6th fatal shooting of Maged Alazani, who was 46 years old, my age, at the Orlando market. I'm 45, but 46. Investigators believe the 13-year-old boy went on to commit another armed robbery at a convenience store an hour later and at a Target outlet in Emeryville the next day. He was arrested in February. They're still looking for another accomplice. I just can't imagine putting a 13-year-old boy, charging him with murder. Heather says 13 is old enough to know right from wrong, and murder is not a gray area for right and wrong. I understand it's right from wrong. Believe me, I am not defending the fact that he doesn't comprehend that what he did is wrong. My concern is 13 years is a child. Yep. I don't care, and I'll be honest. Yes, he knows right from wrong. He is still a child. He's still a child. Yeah. My son, and I know my son he's small for his age, so maybe it's not fair. I know some 13-year-olds that look like grown men. Okay. I know, especially at this age, it ranges. You know what I mean? Between how old people look. But should it matter criminally? Now, I'm not saying, the poor guy's family lost him. He's 46 years old. That's young. That is young to lose their life. But I just don't feel comfortable giving a murder charge to a child. Now, what does this mean? Again, he has to be convicted. Does he go? I would hope that he wouldn't be going to an adult jail. Maybe, staying in the juvenile system until he's 18 and then figuring it out from there. Eric says some gangs have their minors commit the worst crimes on purpose, so they only catch a juvie rap. Okay, let's dissect that a little bit. So you have a child who's very, malleable, right? If they're not getting any attention at home, maybe they don't have parents at home. Let's just say he's in a gang. And I don't know this for sure. So we're just going to kind of take this and dissect it a little bit. They're being used by adults who should know better. They're being used in this way, and they're going to lose their life for it. I mean, whether it's not that they're going to get the death penalty, but you throw them in jail or prison and throw away the key. Puberty ends childhood. 13 years old for a boy, that's like the beginning, man. Right? Especially for boys. Puberty starts younger for girls than boys, so who knows? I just feel. Now, Heather says some kids can and are complete a-holes to the core. Not all of them are innocent just because they're young. I don't know. I have a hard time buying that.
At the age of 13, to think you could make one decision that would ruin your whole life at 13 years old.
Exactly.
I understand that there's a victim here.
Absolutely.
And that there needs to be some type of justice for the victim. But does the victim family, do they really want a 13-year-old child to be in prison for the rest of their life, or, in some states face execution? 13. Your brain is not, when I think of the stupid stuff my kid has done, all right, let's talk about last night. I get a 10-year-old, right?
Okay.
We're at a basketball end of season
game
dinner.
Okay.
It's at a pizza place, and they have video games. And my son is normally pretty even keeled.
Okay.
Last night, I gave him $10. I said, that's what you have to spend on video games. And I thought that was pretty generous. So he goes in there and he's having a great time, and he comes back in tears. There's this claw that allows you to grab a plastic ball, and he's
don't do it. It's a waste of money.
The claw, and he gets nothing. You get nothing. And he comes back and he's crying, and I put all of my money and I didn't get anything, and his tears, and he flicks his face down to the table where I had just set a piece of pizza on the plate, and he flicks his head into the piece of pizza.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, what kind of idiocy is this? I didn't say that, but I'm like, come on. He's a child. He's making childlike decisions.
Yeah.
He obviously had a moment there where he couldn't control his emotions.
Can I just pause? Did he put his face in the pizza?
Oh, yeah. Full on.
Oh, baby.
There were pineapples flying all over the place. And I'm like, I am mortified right now.
I'm mortified that you have pineapple on pizza, but okay, go ahead.
I'm talking to another mom, and she kind of chuckled, and I was like...
I would have been I would have laughed and then been like wiping the sauce off. But yeah,
I'm like, we need to talk about how to regulate your emotions, right?
But he's a child.
He's a child. Would a grown-up have done that? No. Why? Because their brains, because they do things that are impulsive and they're not wise. And so at 13, can you be held responsible for the rest of your life for a horrible decision that you made, even if it impacted someone else?
So what is the punishment here? We can't just let him... We can't just let him off, right? Murphy asked a great question. Instead of asking what's wrong with him, I feel we should ask what happened to you. Great question, But again, we ask that, and he says, I'm making all of this up. My parents are gone, or somebody died, or I've been traumatized in my childhood, obviously, right? I'm running with the wrong crew. I have no support system. I'm broke. I'm poor. I'm hungry. Like, all of these things can be true for one kid, and they all could be true. But a guy lost his life. So what do we do here? Heather says, if we go with the brains not developed thing, are we also going to excuse murders committed by 23-year-olds? Interesting.
Because they say your brain isn't fully cooked till you're 25, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Again, I think there's a spectrum, right? Mm-hmm. How developed is your brain? What happened to you? And I will say this: it's not as if our society does with what Murphy was asking. Mm-hmm. It's not as if we're trying to fix the criminal, right? Or fix the perpetrator. We're trying to punish the perpetrator. We're trying to shame the perpetrator. We're trying to do those things. And then we send them to prison. There's not much rehabilitation going on unless they want it to, right? I mean, we have the programs, but they have to be involved in it. It's not like it's a nice situation because we don't want it to be nice. We want it to be hard. We want it to be scary so that people don't want to go there, even though that doesn't work because people still commit crimes. So there's not much rehabilitation happening. And then when they come out, life is tough because we didn't do anything to make them better. And I get why we don't do that, right? I don't want to give the lap of luxury to someone that just murdered my husband, right? Like, I don't want to do that. But at the same time, then we are sending someone away to hell and then coming out and expecting them to be nice again. And that doesn't make any sense either. Yeah. Vicky says we're being too easy on the murdering kid.
And here's why she says that.
Okay. Because you have young boys. I also have a husband. I also have a husband. I can relate to my husband is 46 years old. If a 13-year-old kid murdered him, I would be devastated. And in all honesty, I would want the perpetrator to be punished. But what is the punishment when it's a 13-year-old kid? That's my question. You see, like I do believe there is some truth to the fact that I could put myself in both shoes. I could see my own child behind holding the gun, and I can see my own husband standing at the counter. And both of those things are devastating if it was one or the other. You know how devastated I would be if I got a call saying my child murdered somebody? Crazy. I can't even imagine. The scary thing is what if there was nobody to call for this kid? Or the person that they're called is, somebody that doesn't care or is, living that sort of lifestyle as well. Sandy says, I could not have committed murder at 13. I knew better, but if I did, I would deserve to be punished to the fullest extent of the law. We're talking murder. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're right. I don't disagree, but when I read the headline that he was going to be charged with murder and everything that brings with it, right? There's not a caveat to that. He's being charged with murder. Now, what will the punishment be if he's found guilty? I would hope that his age is brought into it. Obviously, I can't imagine sending again, yes, I'm seeing my own child, but a child into an adult prison is not going to happen. Like, that just seems awful. Eric says that, Nikki, that's true. We as Americans have a punitive justice system, not a rehabilitative one. It's a serious flaw, in my opinion. It's not healthy for our society. Heather says, I'm also less sympathetic because I remember some of the bullies in my elementary school. Absolutely cruel, sociopathic creeps. Assuming all kids are innocent, sweet angels is dangerous. I don't assume that they're all. I assume the ones that aren't, something did happen to them, though. I mean, unless you are really sociopathic, like there's something wrong with your brain.
I'm sure there are some kids that are like,
exactly.
They're going to grow up into adults that are going to be, woo, right?
Yeah, exactly. Donald says we're all hypocritical about this stuff. 18 is considered an adult for most reasons, but can't drink till 21. Maybe because developing brains are damaged by alcohol. We are not consistent. True. Very, very true. We are not consistent. Just on your story, Vilma says, my child played the claw game, told him he was wasting his money. He won the first time around.
Oh, that's funny.
My husband is a kind of a pro at the claw game. So I never, but then sometimes he sucks at it, because the claw sucks. It's all on the strength of the claw. You can know whether or not you're going to get screwed at the claw game in one pass. The weight to the strength of the claw matters. The weight of the toy versus the strength. You got to factor all of those in. But I like to play a game in which I'm going to play a game, and then I don't mind using my money. I like skee ball. I like stuff like that. But the claw game, nah, it's a waste of money. I agree with you. All right, so we'll see what happens with this poor kid, though. It's insane for me to wrap my mind around the fact that, and again, it's Oakland also, so it hits home locally for us, and again, it's another bad headline for Oakland. You saw Shang Tao, I think it was yesterday. Shang Tao is talking about improving the corridor, the Hagenberger corridor, where all these businesses in and outs are closing down. They cannot buy a good headline. But I think, Calvin, you were the one that sent me this headline that there's this man that is standing up for Oakland by kind of promoting this slogan in Spanish that means Oakland, California, here life is worthless. His name is Gregorio Ramon. He's a 20-year Oaklander, online commentator, 72,000 Instagram and TikTok followers. And he says Oakland's very, very hard to live in with all the problems the city's left us. He says Oakland's never been like that ever before, having these sorts of problems. So, these headlines, Sheng Tao's headlines regarding trying to improve Hegenberger. I'll play you a little bit of her press conference, but I just kind of wonder, with the guy saying, Oakland, here life is worthless if this is going to be enough.
Near the Oakland International Airport, Mayor Sheng Tao spoke on improvements to the area months after major businesses and restaurant chains announcing they would shut down for good.
We are seeing that crimes, whether it's burglaries, property crimes, homicides, all in this corridor, that they are trending down.
Mayor Sheng Tao says crime trends have been decreasing since mid-March. That includes 63% decrease in auto burglaries, 49%.
All right, since mid-March. We're in mid-March, but okay, go ahead.
% decrease in theft, and about 360 reported stolen cars recovered.
Our commitment remains strong and focused on making arrests when warranted, while reducing and preventing crime in the entire city.
OPD says it launched 6 foot patrol officers in the area and 1 sergeant. In addition, the Port of Oakland and the Alameda County Sheriff's Office launched Eyes in the Sky surveillance cameras running 24 hours a day.
The CHP will continue to conduct unannounced surge operations alongside our law enforcement partner agencies.
CHP already has 72 officers in the Oakland office, and as many as 65 more could be added. A security boost local business owners say they appreciate.
In the past several months, we have seen an overall improvement along the corridor, and the city and state leaders are committed to building on that momentum.
Reporting in Oakland, I'm James Torres.
I mean, I understand the press conference. I get it. It does seem to be a bit of a don't look over here type of thing. It does take time. Okay, I will say this. It does take time to make changes and to have those changes be seen. Doug, exactly. Give Sheng Tao a chance. How long? Because again, systemically, I should say, there's a problem in Oakland, and I don't know if it's going to be easy to flip the switch on it. We were just talking about the Paris Olympics and giving out condoms because COVID's kind of over it. I really feel we underestimate how far we are away from COVID, right? And the impacts of that and the mental health of just the world coming out of a pandemic and crime and jobs and homelessness and all of this kind of, I'm not making an excuse. I'm just saying it could take longer than people want to give Sheng Tao to make changes.
And what do you mean give her a chance? Has she had a chance already?
I mean, I think the police chief thing is where she completely botched it. You know what I mean? Like, still don't have one.
Calvin says Oakland has some improvement in reducing crime, but it's not because of the mayor's decisions only. It's because Oakland got CHP help and some extra money from the governor.
Exactly. Now, Chris, living in the cities is no longer desirable with these morons becoming leaders. Living in the city, I will say, comes with its own issues. But look, we were talking yesterday what happened in Petaluma. I would not consider Petaluma a major city. They're not immune to crime. The whole bipping and car break-ins, that sucks. That's not a major city. That's a mentality. People go to these cities. They don't have any shame. Nobody's watching them. I don't know the age of the people that did the bipping in Petaluma or, do all of these sorts of things. But whether they're 13, 23, 33, or 60, it sucks when it happens to you. Vicky thinks Sheng Tao is speaking prematurely to say crime's going down.
Yeah. I mean, you can't drive down Hagenberger without thinking somebody's going to, do something bad to you. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's just, and nowhere is immune to crime. And I love, we get a lot of attention. The Bay Area gets a lot of attention. California in general gets a lot of attention. But to say no crime is happening anywhere, that's just obviously not true. So it's not. But I want Oakland to do better. I definitely do. Did you see that that wrong way driver this morning on 580 coming from the East Bay into San Francisco. And that again, someone committing a crime, a police chase. It was called off, but they made like this U-turn, went the wrong way on 580, called this fatal crash. That's the number one thing I'm so worried about.
Yes.
Whenever I'm driving early in the morning on the freeway, wrong way drivers, whether they're drunk, whether they're committing a crime or something.
It's hard to see those people coming.
Well, and especially if they're drunk and they think they're on the right freeway, they're going the right way.
Right.
It's scary. So it's just there's consequences, and there's people that are caught in the crossfire, and it really, really sucks. So yeah, it's just.
I mean, the result of this accident.
I know. Look at that.
Major injuries for the people in this truck.
And they had the road shut down forever. So traffic was a nightmare this morning if you guys were trying to get from the East Bay into San Francisco by using 580.
Died at the scene.
Yeah.
So,
can you imagine? Just driving, it's like 5:30 in the freaking morning and somebody just slams into you and that's it. That's it.
That almost happened to Jennifer Jones one morning.
Really?
When she was on the way into KGO for the morning show.
Oh.
Right. And there was a wrong way driver. She said she pulled over, but she narrowly avoided getting hit. It was really scary.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right, let's do some more headlines. That was one of the major headlines around the Bay Area this morning was that crash. Mm-hmm. And then when we come back, there are some influencers, some online dating coaches that are pushing women specifically to seek more traditional gender roles. And I'm going to play this video of this one influencer who is really like, you gotta look at this like a business transaction. Basically saying and telling women to ask, can he afford you?
What?
Can he afford you? And I don't know about it. I'll play it for you. I'll play it for you. And you guys tell me.
Can he afford me?
Can
I afford him?
Well, we'll see.
Is that assuming that only one person's going to work?
Well, maybe.
An antiquated way of looking at the situation.
Or not necessarily that you don't work him, but there are just certain things that the man pays for versus the woman, even if she works. So we'll discuss that. Also, there was a reaction to this, which was nobody will shame a man, which I don't agree with this. Nobody will shame a man with beauty standards. So why is it okay to shame women with financial standards when it comes to dating? Now, I don't think men never get shamed for beauty standards, but I will say this. If a guy says, I'm just not attracted to her, there is some people who say, okay, well, if you're not attracted, you're not attracted. So can a woman say, you know what? He just doesn't make enough money for me. Is that just as wrong? All right, let me know in the comments. Wow. We'll discuss that after Kim's news. Here's yours.
Now, from around the world to up your street, the Nikki Maduro Show presents News Czar Kim McAllister.
Well, a former advisor to Donald Trump is reporting to prison.
Yeah, I forgot to mention this. I was going to talk about this guy. Yes, thank you. Go ahead.
Peter Navarro turned himself into a Miami prison today to begin serving his 4-month-long sentence. Not that long, considering he was convicted of contempt of Congress last year for failing to comply with a subpoena issued by the Democratic-led House committee investigating the attack on the U.S. Capitol. Before you ignore a congressional subpoena, what do you expect is going to happen?
Exactly.
Before turning himself in, Navarro called the case against him an unprecedented assault of the constitutional separation of powers.
He's an asshat.
Have a great time in prison.
Exactly. I wanted to mention him and that Coy Griffin guy. He was the founder of Cowboys for Trump, and he is the only one. I have a picture of him. Hold on. I'm gonna take some of the picture. Hold on. There he is. Here he is. That's Coy Griffin. He's the only person who participated in the January 6th attack on the Capitol to be removed from local public office because of the 14th Amendment, because he participated in an insurrection. And the Supreme Court yesterday let stand a New Mexico judge's ruling barring him from local public office because of that 14th Amendment anti-insurrectionist. Like, you can't go against the country and then want to work for the country. So no. Bye-bye, Navarro. Bye-bye.
Afraid not, Freddie. That is not going to work. And here he is this morning reporting to his extended time there in Miami as he's giving a speech saying, this is a violation of the separation of powers.
Yada, 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 yada. Shut up, Navarro. You're an asshat.
He refused to comply with the subpoenas for documents and testimony related to Trump's efforts to challenge the results of the 2020 election, citing executive privilege. The judge, even an appellate judge, said that doesn't fly.
Right.
And then yesterday, the Supreme Court said, yeah, we agree. That doesn't fly. And it doesn't fly so much that even though you're appealing the case, we don't see that the argument holds enough merit to hold you from going ahead and serving your prison time. We're not going to delay it. So Navarro's surrender comes hours again after the Supreme Court rejected his appeal. Yeah.
I love Liz's comment. They're either going to prison or have been in prison. 45 only gets the best people. Exactly.
Did you hear about, what's her name? Stephanie. Her name is
Stephanie?
Stephanie Lambert.
No. Stephanie Lambert.
So she is a Trump ally.
Okay.
Who was trying to disprove the election, one of those people. And she's got a warrant out for her arrest in Michigan that she tried to steal voting machines. All right. And yesterday she's in court. Monday she's in court. And she's there for another hearing that because she's a lawyer in this case and had access to discovery and hundreds of emails from the Dominion voting company, Dominion.
Yeah.
And allegedly leaked them. And so yesterday, after court, they locked the court doors after the hearing.
Right.
And the U.S. Marshals came in and she's arrested.
Nice. Throw her ass in jail.
See what happens when you hitch your wagon to Trump?
There you go. Exactly.
Busted.
Busted.
A social media influencer, speaking of busted, from Long Island is charged with disorderly conduct, trespassing, and theft of government property linked to the January 6th Capitol riot. Isabella Maria De Luca was arrested last Friday in California for her role, alleged, in the 2021 attack on the Capitol. The FBI says De Luca, who has 333,000 followers on X, was seen on the video passing a table out of a broken window to rioters who then used it to attack police officers.
Wow.
She seems nice.
Yeah.
DeLuca justified the Capitol riot on social media, writing, "According to the Constitution, it's our house." She was a former intern for Long Island Republican Congressman Lee Zeldin.
I swear to God, people are morons. Chris asks, why do we need a computer to count votes? Because there's a lot of them. Because people like to know the results of elections within a reasonable amount of time. Because they work. Because there's checks and balances on it. Because that's what we do. Okay, there we go.
A former police officer in Mississippi is being sentenced to 20 years in federal prison for his involvement in the torture and sexual assault of 2 black men. It's a really horrible story. Former Rankin County Sheriff's Deputy Hunter Elward was one of 6 officers, all white, involved in the attack in 2023. Elward pleaded guilty to shooting one of the victims last summer. The other 5 officers also pleaded guilty. They are scheduled to be sentenced next week in a horrible case.
Yeah, it's awful.
Negotiations to reach a temporary ceasefire in the war between Israel and Hamas are ongoing. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre saying administration officials are working now to strike a deal to release hostages held by Hamas and also to surge the humanitarian aid into Gaza. Secretary of State Antony Blinken will visit Saudi Arabia and Egypt this week as well. Federal safety regulators are investigating a recent fatal Ford Mustang Mach-E crash in Texas. Authorities think the car was using advanced driver assistance systems. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has opened dozens of Tesla special crash investigations since 2016, in which systems like their autopilot are suspected of being used. This is the first investigation that involves a Ford advanced system as well.
Just stop. I mean, I get it. I don't mind the driver assist to keep me in my lane if I'm kind of drifting. It vibrates. It gets me, helps me with the braking. I experienced one of those when I had a rental car recently. But look, don't give people the option to be hands-free if you don't want them to go hands-free. And I don't want them to go hands-free. Keep your damn hands on the wheel. That's it.
And that's the problem, is people think that
they can close their eyes, they can take a nap, the car's going to take them where they want to go.
It's not true.
No.
You have to be there and be present and be paying attention. And it's easy to have your mind drift when I guess you engage in the auto.
I get so tired physically driving home from San Francisco. I can't imagine if I had the option of kind of not paying attention. You know what I mean? Like, it's the little act of driving you need to be engaged with. And to take that away is dangerous. It just is.
There's a couple of election type things still underway.
Okay.
There's a California election happening in San Joaquin County where voters are casting ballots in a special primary to decide who should fill the rest of former Congressman Kevin McCarthy's term for District 20. He resigned in December, still had a year left to serve. Voters already narrowed the field of candidates 2 weeks ago in the state primary. So it's between Tulare County Sheriff Mike Boudreaux and Assemblyman Vince Fong to face off in November. The winner will serve in 2025 and 2026. Also election related, Governor Gavin Newsom says he is looking forward to the final count on Prop 1. This race, even after so much time, is still too close to call. 2 weeks after the California primary, more than 200,000 ballots left to be counted. At last check, the yes vote still has a slight lead, but by only 20,000 votes. If Prop 1 becomes law, it would add 11,000 beds to help homeless people with mental health issues and addiction, supposedly.
And, you know, obviously giving more control to put somebody in not against their will, but, you know, involuntarily, let's say. Again, if you missed our conversation on Friday with Emily Hoven, it's in the video section of this channel. Listen to it. It starts with her parking a situation, but then she talks about how it never should have been like this. And the funding for Prop 1 and everything, Newsom blew it. But we are where we are. And, you know, the Chronicle, she's on the editorial board, did support Prop 1, but they did find the problems with the funding and everything like this. And, you know, she made her argument, and I agree with her. I think that he really did drop the ball. So go back, and Emily Hoven's amazing. She's great. And so catch that interview.
There's a new effort to tackle California's insurance crisis. In the last year, at least 7 of the largest providers have either stopped or restricted new homeowner policies here in California, right? Fires, floods, all these things. It's why the State Department of Insurance is proposing a rule change. It would allow companies to anticipate future wildfire and flood risks when they're raising rates. Right now, catastrophe modeling is only approved for earthquake and fires resulting from earthquakes. That's the only modeling you can do.
Okay. So this changes that to expand it.
Does it mean that our rates are going to go up?
Yes.
Does it mean that we're going to be able to still get insurance, though?
I hope so.
Yeah.
That's what we want. I mean, listen, I'll give the insurance company a little bit of leeway, okay? By saying, look, if we can't use a different modeling, given the current situation, we are just going to pack up and leave. You can't force us to pay out all of this money. It's not financially, or it doesn't make business sense for them. And they are a business. On the other hand, you have to be able to insure your home, you know, especially if you want to get a mortgage or something like that. And it can't be so price prohibitive that people just won't get the insurance or let it lapse or whatever, because that's no good either. So, it'll be interesting to see how the consequences of this play out.
You know what happens when someone finds out that you doctored one picture?
They think all pictures are doctored.
Then they go back and they're looking at all.
Are we talking about our favorite lady, Kate? And where is Kate? Where's Kate?
Where's Kate?
TMZ had a picture, apparently a video of her, but I'm not buying it.
So now the people that know how to do these things and look for edited pictures and whatever are going back through all of the pictures.
Yep.
And now they found, look at all the circles. This is where Kate's picture, apparently, of she put this out of the Queen with her grandchildren and great-grandchildren.
Okay.
The picture was apparently taken by Kate and released by Kensington Palace last year. And now they say this one has been digitally enhanced as well. CNN analysis finds signs of alteration in as many as 19 places in this picture.
Okay, so the circle in between the Queen and going to the left to the young lady holding the baby, her sleeve, I could see that edit. Some of them are just, you know, I'm sorry. I'm not that engaged in it. I do want to know where Kate Middleton is. They had this video, TMZ, of her like walking with Charles. It looked like they were just shopping somewhere. And you could totally, she's just smiling. Now other people are like, that's not Kate. That's not Kate. Her hairlines, like people are dissecting this. She did look quite healthy to not be giving an interview saying I'm fine. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like if you're walking and shopping and seeming fine after your abdominal surgery, freaking give an interview. Give a 5-second interview. Like, hey, I'm here. I'm safe. People say that she either has been abused, she's dead. They're thinking all sorts of things. Yeah. They say that she can't be seen because there it is.
It's got the sun all over it, but because
Yeah,
it's a
yeah,
sun
yeah.
picture, but yeah.
Right. Well, and so there's a video that goes along with this that was on TMZ.
Mhm.
Now it looks like Kate to me. Like if I saw that, I'd be like, that looks like Kate. But people are like, that's not her. But again, she's smiling. She's walking fine. Why not stop and say, I'm here. I'm fine. I'm
Mhm.
sorry I manipulated that photo. And then take the air out of this stupid story. But instead, you're adding fuel to the fire by being suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. You're being suspicious. And yeah, I don't care, but now I'm so all in on this story. It's crazy. Like anything Kate Middleton, now all of a sudden I give a crap. And I never gave a crap about the Royals at all. But now it's like a murder mystery, perhaps, and I'm engaged, damn it.
The palace said this picture had been taken by Kate at Balmoral Castle in Scotland in the months before the Queen's death. The corrections, though, have led to confusion over whether the image was in fact stitched together from various different shots because there's so many. If that was stitched together from different shots, that's pretty good photo editing, I would say.
Okay, so let's look on the left, on the left, behind the couch, okay? So you have the little girl sitting on the edge on the left, right?
Yeah.
The kid forgive me, I don't know these kids' names. The kid right next to her does have quite a shine from the light on his face that is not reflected anywhere on the girl sitting down. So it could be a window, I guess, but then the girl behind him has nothing on.
Right.
So, I would have looked at this picture and just taken it at face value, but this is insane. This is so crazy. It is so crazy. And I'll say it, if the Queen was still alive, none of this crap would have happened. I'm sorry. Although apparently it did because she's sitting right there for the photo. But
so Kate issued this apology over the other Mother's Day picture, right?
Right.
She didn't explain why she alters her photographs or why the palace didn't disclose their changes to photo agencies or not. I don't know if this is embarrassing or not. I mean, I think you do when you're in a position like this. You need to disclose whether things have been edited.
Yes. I mean, again, there's light on the other side of the couch kid. He has it coming that way. This kid has it that way. Now, are there lights? Did they bring in outside lights? I thought this was just a casual picture, but maybe they have the photo lights up.
I don't know. I don't think it can be a casual picture if all the grandkids and all the great grandkids are there together.
Well, no, but what I mean is she just took it on her phone. We're not getting photo lights and those sorts of things. Like it's it's not that kind of staged photo like that. Like, oh, go in and see Granny and take a picture. And even though, of course, Harry and Meghan's kids not in it, so that was that whole hubbub about that.
I have a feeling this is just like we're gonna start seeing this cavalcade of edited pictures that come through every day.
Yeah.
All the pictures that have been.
And people are saying after abdominal surgery, she wouldn't be carrying a shopping bag, which is what Kate was. And she was walking very kind of briskly. If you watch the video.
It's been a while. I mean, I had a C-section, right? They take a lot of your guts out and put them back in.
But
during
she didn't
that
have
surgery.
a C-section.
I'm just saying, like that night, I was sitting up in a wheelchair rolling to the nursery. So.
Yeah, but
even if she had a complete hysterectomy, she'd be up and around by now moving, and she'd probably be able to carry a shopping bag.
But then she could stop in front of a freaking microphone and end the story. That's my thing. It's like, why is she not? And that's why the question remains. If you knew all of this crap was happening, and people thought you were at the worst dead, right? Or that people are saying that your husband's cheating on you or beat the crap out of you.
Right.
Wouldn't you say, hey, this is getting a bit far? Or that he wants to replace you because he's about to become king, right? Because what's his face is sick. So it really is. I know. I don't care, but I care. I don't know why I care about this, Luis. It's just because it's become this mystery. I've gone down the freaking rabbit hole. Every time Kate Middleton is trending, son of a bitch, I click it. Damn it.
Well, it's interesting. There's also some weird thing about, he's got a mistress.
Yes.
All these things. It's like, how far are we going to go into this?
And then they're like, he didn't want her to be queen. You didn't marry her to have her not be queen. So
the mother of his kids, I don't know.
I mean, like father, like son, I guess, right? So.
Oh, them's fighting words. So Coca-Cola is kind of unveiling all new bottles.
Is this a different bottle?
Yeah, they're trying to be more environmental, right?
Okay.
So they're one of the world's top plastic polluters, and they're making changes to the bottles to try to be more environmentally friendly. Arriving at U.S. stores this week, all versions of Coca-Cola sold in 20-ounce bottles will be made from 100% recycled plastic. And so that is helping Coca-Cola Company try to achieve its 2030 goal of making half of its portfolio produced from recycled material. I think that's great.
I think that's great too. Mm-hmm. I will say, obviously it's reduce, reuse, and then recycle, because recycling still uses the most energy. There's still, that whole thing. Mm-hmm. I'm not a soda drinker. Would I prefer it to be glass? But that doesn't, align kind of with the whole grab and go type thing. But yeah, I guess it's good. I mean, it'd be nice if they were using their own bottles type of thing. Mm-hmm. Could we recapture the bottles and just reuse them instead of having to break them down and create a whole nother bottle? I don't know. But I'm not against glass, but again, Coke, it's one of those things you throw in the gym bag or
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like plastic kind of works better with soda. But yeah, if it could be glass or really hard glass that wouldn't break so easy, I don't know. But yeah, I would definitely want it to be glass over plastic.
I still don't like the idea, even if it's recycled plastic, of people drinking that and throwing it out, right? Because it might be recycled plastic, but it's still plastic, and it still gets into our environment, and we still have microplastics everywhere. How about no plastic? How about that?
Yeah, well, it'd be nice, but
I don't know if that's realistic, but I think
not realistic at all. I mean, I'd love it, but it's just not gonna happen.
Yeah. Did you hear about Critter Country? They're closing it down in Disneyland.
Oh, really? Why?
Starting in May, on May 1st, because they're going to reimagine a couple of retail shops. They're still doing the work on the Tatiana's. Was it Tatiana? No.
Don't ask me.
What's its name? Adventure, the princess.
Princess and the Frog?
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. Yeah.
What's her name? Anyway.
Tiana?
Tiana. Yeah.
I don't know.
They're doing work on that, right? Also closed is the haunted house, because they're retooling that area.
No, that's my thing. I love the haunted house.
Winnie the Pooh's ride, that's also closed. This whole area, right? So they're fixing this whole Princess and the Frog area up at Disneyland Resort, and so that means the Briar Patch on the left-hand side of the road there and the Pooh Corner are going to be reimagined into Ray's Berets and Louie's Critter Club, respectively.
Okay.
Ray's Berets will be like a headwear kind of hat shop. And in the Louie Critter Club, they'll sell home decor themed things. Princess Tiana is her name, Tiana, Tiana.
Okay.
And other critters. That's according to Disneyland. So,
Sweet.
Yeah, they're changing everything around. And because of that, this whole area is closed. They don't say how long it's going to be closed, but it's shutting down May 1st. And
they say
summer,
then.
Going to open maybe later this year at both Disneyland and Walt Disney Florida. So,
well, I can't imagine. I mean, they're not like tearing the whole thing down. They're just kind of probably redoing the decor and stuff like that. So, okay.
Making it a little bit different.
There you go.
That's the way it goes. Everything changes, right?
Right.
As we've heard recently. California drivers are dealing with some sticker shock again.
Uh-oh.
Because gas prices now are over $5 in 18 counties, including Ventura, San Luis Obispo, and San Francisco. And I'll raise my hand and say Sonoma County as well.
You paid over $5?
Oh, it's so expensive here for gas. Yeah.
So I think I just paid $4.39 was the last time I filled up. So I don't know what it is right now, but I paid that. I filled up on Friday. No, Wednesday of last week. Mm-hmm. So, and it's still pretty full because I haven't driven to San Francisco. Every time I go to San Francisco is the only time I really care about freaking filling up my gas tank. So
AAA shows the statewide average inching closer to the $5 mark too. In fact, the cheapest price is only a little lower at $4.54 in Lassen County. Experts say it's due to the state transitioning into the cleaner summer blend of gas, which is more expensive. So we should expect that we're going to pay out the nose for that because, pain
in the ass.
Nothing can be cheap here in California.
No. Oh, well, yeah. And I mean, summer's coming. Today's the last day of winter. Spring arrives tonight. So, but I have a sign that says "Hello Winter" in my front yard. So I had to take that down today.
Come on, man. This report is sponsored by you, which means we rely on you to help us crowdfund the Nikki Maduro Show. The links are in the show description, and they're also online at thenikkimadoroshow.com. It's thenikkimadoroshow.com, where you can find it all, the Patreon, the PayPal link, and everything else. I'm Kim McAllister on the Nikki Maduro Show.
And let me give some thank yous real quickly. You guys have been generous. The Lady Beatrice started us off with a $5 donation talking about the Slender Man murders by those 12-year-old girls. Wes with a $5 donation. Yay, I get to listen today. Yay, Wes. We always love that. Jess, thank you so much. I love this show. Oh, my God. Thank you for the $5 donation. You guys are awesome. We always appreciate all of the love and support on the show. So thank you, thank you, thank you guys so very much. Okay, well, speaking of money. There is this dating coach that's online. I'm going to call her an influencer, but she considers herself a dating coach. Her name is Carla Elia. Okay. I'm going to play you the video, but basically she's saying women do not go out with that nice guy that treats you right.
Why?
Stop doing that. Well, here she is with an explanation. Here we go.
My husband had a savings account specifically for me to afford me before we started dating because he knew the type of woman he was looking for was going to be expensive. Ladies, if you are looking for a provider mindset man, these are the things you need to look out for. Is he well aware that you are expensive, that it takes a certain type of man to be able to afford you? Let's talk about it. Hello, my name is Carla, and restoring healthy mindsets is my thing. If there was one thing that I did right while I was dating, was that this was always conveyed with the men that I was dating. They all knew that I was expensive. Listen, my husband loved my hair. My husband loved my makeup, my skin, my body, my nails, the way that I smell. Those were the things that my husband loved about me. And he knew that all those things come with a price. And that's exactly what he liked. And that's exactly what he was looking for. So before my husband started dating any girl, he had money put away to afford the women that he was looking for.
Can you imagine dating a guy and he's like, oh yeah, I have a fund to afford my future wife. But anyways.
And here's the thing, you need to stop excusing men. They are a lot smarter than you think, and they know the type of woman they're willing to invest in. I never once had to communicate my standards to someone. I never once had to tell them to pay for something. It was a known. And I also never entertained men that couldn't afford me. And you shouldn't either. Not even if he's nice, if he treats you right. The matter of fact is, to survive, you need food and a roof over your head. If he can't at least afford that, you need to start dating better.
Okay. So thoughts. Thoughts.
What happened to her?
Okay, hold on. I'm going to say this first off, because I think she said it very quickly. And so I want to emphasize this. She is talking to women who want men to be the provider. Okay, that's what the traditional gender role aspect of this conversation is. If you believe and want a provider as your partner, like you want him, and I'm doing, again, heteronormative. I'm not talking about gay couples, okay? Because I think that does change the dynamic, in my opinion. So if you are a woman and you want your husband to be the traditional old school provider, I think she has a point. Like, okay, and I'm going to be honest here. I have a friend, I still know this person, that you knew that that's what she was going to need. Like, and it wasn't that she was actively seeking a provider. She just didn't want to do shit. So sorry. She just didn't want to do anything. She didn't like working. She wasn't going to school, right? She was an attractive girl. And she dated men that took care of her. Like, that is what she did. And so was she a terrible, no good, awful person? No. But okay, let's start off here, Kim. Is there something wrong with being a woman that wants a man to provide for you?
I find that woman and in that video abhorrent. I'm disgusted and dismayed.
Answer the question. Is it wrong to want a man to be a provider?
That her parents raised a young woman who is not independent and able to take care of herself. Listen, this works for you now. And she's like, oh, he likes my body and he likes my nails and he likes my hair and he likes the way I smell. Okay, well, talk to me when you're 60. Is he still going to like you then? Or is he trading you in for a newer model that has fresher skin and fresher hair and fresher nails and whatever else? I mean, if you've based your whole relationship on the stuff that doesn't matter, it's doomed. It's doomed. If your only criteria is can he take care of me? Really? Right. Don't date a man that treats you well, nice but poor. Those are the best kinds, working together to create your future, right? Because your nice guy may not be poor forever and you're working together. Also, if you're not able to take care of yourself when he leaves you, what is that?
What is that? Now I want to throw this in because
she's not succeeding in life. I'm sorry. That is so superficial and
but what
shallow.
About
she's gross.
And I do agree with you. I don't like her. I don't like her delivery. I don't like the way she leads with he likes all these superficial things. And so that's what he needs to afford. On the other hand, and I'm playing devil's advocate because I totally agree with you. On the other hand, there are people that live in this kind of traditional lifestyle by choice or by they've decided it as a couple. The man is going to go to work. I'm going to stay at the house. I'm taking care of the house. I'm taking care of the kids, which is a job. I'm not saying that, but that's more of the, older traditional kind of splitting of duties, right?
Sure.
Okay. So that woman who is working in the house, but not getting paid, right? Not collecting a 401k, doesn't have a pension, those sorts of things, is dependent on that man to go to work, to provide the food, to provide if she wants to get her nails done, right? And again, this is just the truth. If a woman does not make her own money, her husband's money is her money, but that does require that money is going to be used for if she wants to get her nails done. That money is going to be done if she wants to get her hair done. That money is going to be used to make her look the way that she wants to look so she could still be attractive to her husband.
I suppose that if you want to start popping out babies the second you get married, but why can't you work together? If you've chosen that one of you is going to stay home with the kids, then why can't you work together to save as much money as you need so that you can go back to one salary, right? I've seen people scrimp, not go out to dinner at all, like not do anything extra, no vacations, nothing, so that one person can stay home with the kids. You don't have to be living in the lap of
luxury. What if it has nothing
to
do with kids? What if a guy likes the woman to stay home and do the housework, have dinner made for him? What if there are no kids? What if that is the kind of dynamic they want within their household? Do you find something wrong with that?
I guess that's why they say there's someone for everyone. I mean, if that's who you are, and I'll say Rebecca says, I'm making assumptions about her parents. She may have had a change of gear after dating. And Rebecca, you're totally right. I am making assumptions. And I think it's because the way I'm trying to raise my own daughter, which is to be independent, to make her own money, to never have to depend on anyone else, to be able to survive in this world without a man or whatever. Now, if she finds a great partner, fantastic. And if they choose to, do things the traditional way, okay. But I don't want her with them because of the money.
Yeah.
And do I think it's okay for people to make these deals ahead of time? Yeah. But then it seems like your relationship is based more on finances than it is based on, I think this person is really lovely. And I love the way they think. There's something about their soul that attracts me.
But can it be both? Can it be like, I like his personality, but I'm not going to date somebody that's broke? I mean, is it wrong to say that? Now, Joanne wrote in earlier. She said, I met my husband in 1992, and he told me from the beginning that my money was not good when I was with him.
Sure.
He was old school and felt he should pay for everything. Right. Is there something wrong with that?
No.
Okay. And then Louise says, is that looking for a spouse or an escort, lol?
Right.
The second one is transactional and will go away without costing you half your stuff. Applies to whoever has greater wealth, not gender specific. I don't find here's the thing. Okay. If I'm going to be fair, I find nothing wrong with people that want to live in traditional, and I'm talking male goes to work, woman stays home, kids or no kids, because that's feminism. Feminism means you get to choose, right? You can choose. Now, if I was being forced, if I wanted to work outside the home and my husband or partner was saying, no, you need that's, I'm not for that. I want women to have agency, right? They control their destiny. But if they choose to live in this, I stay home, the household is my domain, and then my husband goes to work, I don't want it to be where then I have to ask him for money. Right. I don't want, it's like I'm carrying my weight, you carry your weight, and the money that comes into the house's money. And we get to make decisions together on how we spend it. That would need to be a requirement. But dating, that's the interesting, the thing that just made me really sit and be like, because if you want that, if you want to be able to have the household be your domain, it does require somebody making good enough money. And so is there something wrong with kind of going into it? I wouldn't lead with it. I wouldn't be like, hey, what's your paycheck? But if I know that I want a man to be my provider, at some point, that's going to have to be disclosed, is that you have to be able to afford to take the financial responsibility, since I'm going to be taking the household responsibility. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, and I agree with Lori that, people, as long as people both agree, why should anyone else care?
Right.
But I just think it's not a smart decision to say, oh, I want a provider, right? Because that can really shoot yourself in the foot down the line.
But what if you really love each other? But you're going to find someone that falls in love with that is
fantastic.
Right.
But what happens when what is it? 1 out of 2 marriages end in divorce? What happens then? And you're out on your ass. And then you have no way to provide for yourself.
But so many people find themselves in that situation. And hopefully you live in a state in which you have to be paid alimony, spousal support, so that you can continue to live your life, because
it ends eventually. And then what are you going to do?
Yeah. So
I'm just saying, like, it's not a smart way to live for a bunch of reasons. And it's just also oogie to me. She's oogie.
She's oogie to Kim. Wes says she never mentioned love and all of that. And I think that's the point. Like, as we know, working this shift, being laid off, having a partner that can pick up the slack, as you figure life out, is so huge. But that's a privilege that we have. Not everybody has that. And so if you find yourself on your ass because you no longer have the nails, the hair, the body that you had going into it, and now all of a sudden the deal has changed, right? So if she's going into this relationship and looking at him like, I want you to provide for me, and that's going to cost money, and I'm going to keep my nails up and my hair up, and then all of a sudden you can't, for some reason, your body betrays you, you do whatever, age happens, and he's like, you know what? I'm not attracted to you. You're not upholding your end of the bargain. Bye. Where are you? Unless, especially if you're not married yet. I mean, if you're just dating the dude, but you're depending on him for everything like that, and you're not working, and time is passing, and people are getting their careers, and you're aging, and things become harder. That's going to be a harder lifestyle. That's really going to be a harder lifestyle.
Some insight into me, and maybe this is why I'm rubbing you guys the wrong way in my strength about this. My parents are divorced.
Yeah.
My mom is a school teacher. And was able to, my dad paid child support, right? But my mom was able to stay in the house and
afford it,
pay the mortgage and afford it, but just barely. Like, there wasn't a lot extra. And she told me from the time I was little, always be able to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
She said, always have your own bank account and never count on someone else to support you, because you never know what's going to happen. You never know. And never get caught with your pants down in that type of scenario. So when I see this woman, and maybe that's why a lifetime of being told that, which drives my husband crazy, by the way. He's like, I'm not going to leave you. It's okay.
Right. Well, something could happen to him, God forbid. You never know. You know what I mean?
And I better be able to pick up the slack, right?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I mean, imagine if that happened. The kids would be faced with feeling a loss, and then I would have to sell the house and then change their whole life around. And what a mess. I mean, I know people have to do that, but I just feel like, I just feel like she's not really looking at the big picture.
No, she's not looking down the road. Again, Heather says each person should be able to take care of themselves. I'm not interested in a project man, but I'm not a charity case either.
Right.
Yeah, and Kim's absolutely right. My mom told me the same exact thing, and my parents aren't divorced. Right? My parents aren't divorced. But my mom always told me, she's like, you have to be able to take care of yourself. You have to be able to also, not that I ever would, because I love my husband and we have a great marriage, but walk away if you need to. Like there are women that are stuck because they can't walk away for financial reasons, for child reasons, and things like that. So, this dating coach, it's all fine and dandy to be like, get yours, make sure they can provide for you and get your nails done. But life is a lot longer than your 20s and your 30s, right? Yeah. There's a lot of, I saw this thing the other day, something to the effect of when you see people celebrating their 20th, their 30th, their 40th, their 50th anniversary, you're not celebrating all the good times. You are celebrating all of these struggles that they worked through to stay together.
Vilma, you're killing me.
That person's mother-in-law probably hates her. Who says she's even well, yeah, she did say she was married. But yeah, probably. You never know, though. You never know. Some people might fully agree with it. All right, that's our show. We will be back tomorrow. Again, thank you to Lady Beatrice, Wes, Jess for supporting the show through the Super Chat. It is live even in the replay, so please consider supporting the show. We are 100% crowdfunded. Go to thenikkimadoroshow.com. Please sign up for our Patreon. You can sign up for any amount, and it's a one-time a month payment. So it's not every day. It's not every show. It's just once a month if you like to see the show and you want to continue to see it. PayPal is also an excellent choice. Just go to paypal.com, hit the send button, and put in the email address, thenikkimadoroshow@gmail.com. Do it now. We really appreciate each and every one of you because we do want to continue doing the show. All right, stay here for the Mark Thompson Show and, of course, the After Party Live with Kim McAllister. And we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Nikki, you're all so awesome. You're proud, like a beautiful blossom. You're also the best. I really can't rest. You're all so awesome.
Wow. Okay.